Alright, welcome to my presentation for Escape Dino Island. It's just my pitch. I do have like a very rough prototype just to sort of show how the gameplay will work. And I just want to sort of take you through to show you how the story will branch and how the characters will or players will interact with said story. So basically we're escaping Dino Island. Our plane crashes on a lost island where dinosaurs still rule. So we have to try and survive and discover a way off the island. That's the whole premise of the game. Solo or co-op, you pick your character and then you pick your crew members to go with you. So you have a crew of 3, including your main character when you play solo. If you play 2-player, then you only have 1 crew member each and your main character. So there will be a bigger crew. For this example, I'm playing solo, so I'll have my guide as my main character I've picked, and I've got the 2 other crew members which will have their static abilities that will help me get through the game. You'll pick this basically like a combo, your favorite kind of combo. So we've got our main story card here. There's 3 of them, A, B, C. Both doubles. They're all double-sided. So on here it's going to tell us the story and instruct us on how to set it up. So the story will be your plane comes crashing down and you've barely survived. And the setup will be find in the island deck the plane wreck location and put it in place. This is your active location area. And find the jungle biome. So we'll go and find the biome for the jungle. This is the same one and it's going to have a setup. This will say find the vines and then shuffle. So once you've done the setups, you're flipping them over, and it's going to be revealing the rest of the story. The plane is not fixable, but maybe you could scavenge some things from it and survive that way. The jungle is becoming increasingly more terrifying as you hear more and more roars in the background and shuffling of trees. That's kind of the extent of my story written on here, but there will be a lot of it. I've seen a lot of cards. So basically, we take our turn. We are trying to collect clues for our character, or, progress tokens or location tokens. I haven't really decided the name yet, but clue tokens. Once I've got enough clue tokens on my dude that matches the threshold for the story, then they will go on with the story and we will move on to the next story card. So now this will have, you've left the plane, the story little blurb, you've left the plane and you're making your way towards the edge, the jungle edge. And the outcome, there might be something that happens in the story. So then you'll flip this over and we're on to the next beat. So this will take another 3 clues to get through. Now, similar for the island, it's going to have its own agenda and it's going to have the threat tokens or presence tokens. I'm not sure yet. And as this hits its threshold of 3, this will also go through. And as this goes through, it will dig out more dinosaurs. It will make dinosaurs stronger. There will be lots of sort of buffs to the plants and the dinosaurs, the island basically, as you go further through this. And then if you actually don't manage to finish the story, get enough clues to go through all 3 story cards, before the island cards, it forces you to the swamp. So it takes away your decision, and the swamp is a harder part to visit early in the game. But if you manage to get through your actual story cards before the biome cards, then you're going to have a option on where to go. You can go to the swamp still, or you could go to the mountain, or you could go to the long grass plains. So there's going to be these branching options for players once they sort of make their way through either failing forward through the jungle beating them as a timer, or they're going to beat the jungle's timer basically and get through the story better and giving them more options. In the island deck, it's going to have like a deck for each biome. So the jungle deck, then there'll be the mountain deck, and that's how I'll have variability between different dinosaurs, different plant life, different threats, different locations. I will have a standard deck that gets shuffled into each one that will have the same, like weather, a dinosaur that stalks you, so that it can tie a story between each of the biomes that's consistent. and also add some theme. I really wanted to add some theme. For an example, if we get to say the story card 2, it might say you hear a voice on the radio in a tower or abandoned outpost. So you find a radio card and put it into play. Stuff like that. I can introduce story beats when needed for players as they make their way through, and it makes it feel like they're discovering it randomly. And same with the jungle, like when it gets to the second card, it might dig out a velociraptor or something. But sometimes it can be positive too. It might find an abandoned, burnt-out vehicle, supply truck, and you all of a sudden have got this bonus from that side. So there's going to be a few sort of different options and whatnot. But yeah, basically, the goal of the game is to collect clues to get through your story, avoiding the jungle or the island biomes as much as you can, surviving them. As far as combat and all that goes, that's in a later design. But I do have near, close to our player. So when anything's close, it has to interact. And when it's far away, we have an option to hide from it. So I do want to include some kind of stealth. There will be weather, stormy weather, things like that. So there will be as much juicy theme as I can put in, and I also will be going quite large with the art, because I feel like without a board, the only components being cards, I really want the art to tell a visual novel to the player and create a narrative that feels individual to them as they play it each time. This is the very rough version. I'm looking forward to making the proper prototype in a few weeks. But as far as my game pitch goes, I've mentioned everything in my essay, but I just really wanted to show you how I plan on navigating through branching stories and having player agency and choice to do so through each of the steps. Awesome.